The Board of Trustees, the school administrators, the faculty, staff, parents, and the student body of Angono Private High School wish to welcome your presence on our 5th Senior High School Commencement exercises with the theme K-12 Graduates Pursuing Dreams and Fostering Resilience in the Face of Adversity. To the class of 2022, the things that you will be leaving behind are the ones that shall prepare you for the things you are racing towards. From the words of Secretary Leonor Magtoles Briones of the Department of Education, resilience is in your blood. You have survived one of the toughest times in human history, yet you still embrace education as your primary tool to success. May you keep on harnessing and imparting wisdom as together we will build a nation of competent global citizens and future leaders. Ladies and gentlemen, the processional. The Board of Trustees of the Juan Sumulong Memorial School System Incorporated, the administration of Angono Private High School. the faculty and staff of the Senior High School Department. The graduates of Class 2022. The Juan Sumulong Memorial School System Vision and Mission to be recited by Monique Rosel J. Assis of STEM 201 with high honors.
Vision Mission. JSMSS is committed to provide holistic development of human life anchored on strong moral values in service to God and mankind. It aims to be an educational institution that efficiently and effectively provides students with a learning environment that fosters upright citizenship, produces academically competent graduates, advocates social awareness and community development.
To give us his words of welcome, ladies and gentlemen, the Director of Juan Sumulong Memorial School System, Dr. Reynaldo D. Faustino, followed by the greetings from the JSMSS President, Mrs. Lilian I. Carrion.
To the illustrious members of the Board of Trustees, dynamic members of the JSMSS faculty and staff, led by our hardworking principals, to our graduating pupils and students, beloved parents, ladies and gentlemen, my warm greetings to all of you. Today is such a festive occasion because our dear pupils and students shall now reap the fruits of their labor, their certificate of graduation, which proves that they have met all the academic standards and requirements set by our school and the Department of Education. I know getting here was not easy, and therefore, it is only fitting and proper that I express our thanks and gratitude to your teachers and your parents, who both nurtured you and led you to the right path that has made you the responsible individual that you are right now. I also would like to commend you for not giving up and for giving your education your best in spite of all odds. As we celebrate another milestone in our pupils and students' lives, allow me to share with everyone a few lessons that may also help our graduates reach for more successes in life. First, if we want to end right, we have to start right. We all look for the picture-perfect ending. In the movies, we always want the protagonist to end up together and have their happy ever after. But what we do not realize is that a picture-perfect ending will not be possible if we will not make the right choices and the right decisions from the beginning. No one is born too lucky or too good that he gets the life he wants, even by making the wrong choices or by not doing anything at all. To have the life we want, we have to labor and persevere from beginning to end. Second, it is the end that determines the worth of our labor. Surely, we have heard of so many people, both young and old, who were off to a good start. People said that they have a very promising future ahead, but in the end, they still failed, for they got lost somewhere in between. Therefore, it is important that as we end this year and move on to another chapter in our lives, we have to be reminded that no matter how hard things get, or no matter how difficult our journey becomes, it is the end of our journey that makes everything worthwhile or meaningless. Third, and finally I say, every ending leads to a new beginning. Isaiah chapter 43 verses 18 and 19 says, "Forget the former things. Do not dwell on the past. See that I, your Lord, is doing a new thing." These words from the Holy Bible simply means that everything ends, everything comes to pass, but not everything is lost. A chapter ends to open a new one. Thus, it is important that we all learn how to cry, grieve, move on, and move forward. We cannot spend our lifetime crying over spilled milk. If we shall allow ourselves to wallow in self-pity, then we shall never be victorious, for winners never quit. They simply allow themselves to be knocked down, but never knocked out. We all have to learn how to pick ourselves up when life gets us down. To our dear graduates, you are still very young and are still at the prime of your life. You have what it takes to become a winner. Just do not give up the fight. Always armor yourselves with moral and spiritual courage and fortitude. Always surround yourself with the right people, for the friends and people you keep in your life have the power to lift you up or bring you down. Always value your good old friends. They are the ones who are with you when you have nothing. Keep them and bless them when you have everything. Always honor your father and your mother, and surely you will be blessed. And when everything is said and done, always remember your beloved alma mater with fondness and gratitude in your hearts, because this is where all your dreams began and where you were deeply loved. Congratulations, Batch 2021-2022. Mabuhay po tayong lahat. Salamat po.
Greetings to the graduating class 2021-2022. I am before you today very proud and excited to see each one of you on this momentous event. As your school president and also as a Lola, graduations leave a lump in my throat, for I know the hardships, difficulties you and your parents faced to be able to reach this moment. You should be excited and proud because you are an achiever. As you cherish the fruits of your hard work, remember your parents and teachers who traveled with you so that you will reach your goals. In your next adventure, prayer, hard work, perseverance, and courage will help you reach your dreams and to become who you really are. Never get tired of pursuing knowledge, because in this present age, what we know at present becomes obsolete in the years to come. Remember that an investment in knowledge pays the best interest. Your graduation is a dress rehearsal for a life that is yours to lead. As you invest in knowledge, never forget your Maker, your God. Proverbs 2:6 says, "For the Lord gives wisdom, and from His mouth come knowledge and understanding." As you go through life, the real essence of wisdom is spiritual, for life is more than just living and being rewarded in the physical sense. I pray that success and blessings come your way as you embark on a new path. Congratulations, and may God bless us all.
To do the honors of introducing our distinguished commencement speaker, please welcome the Juan Sumulong Memorial School System Administrative Officer, Ms. Jocelyn Z. Rondilla.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor and pride to introduce to you our commencement speaker. Our guest of honor finished her bachelor's degree and her Master of Arts major in Curriculum and Instruction from the University of the Philippines. She has also earned a master's degree in Educational Management and Leadership from the University of Sydney through a scholarship program which led her to become the recipient of the Australia Leadership Award in 2012. In the same year, our speaker joined the Department of Education by becoming Director 3 of the Bureau of Secondary Education after serving the Lourdes School of Quezon City for a number of years as high school principal. Since being part of the DepEd family, our speaker has been assigned to so many DepEd programs and has held various positions due to her dedication and perseverance, as well as with her innate charm, wit, and intelligence. She is currently Director 4 of the Bureau of Curriculum Development, Chair of the Senior High School National Task Force, President of the Association of DepEd Directors, and the lead official in the Private Education Office. Ladies and gentlemen, let us give a warm JSMSS welcome to the Woman of the Hour, Dr. Jocelyn D.R. Andaya, for her commencement address.
Good morning. Magandang hapon sa ating lahat. I would like to extend my deepest gratitude for inviting me to this important occasion, which is a significant milestone for our senior high school graduates this school year 2021-2022. Of course, my sincerest appreciation also to the faculty and staff of this school. The school year 2021-2022 was like no other, with the pandemic hitting the globe and eventually with steps towards recovery being gradually taken, reshaping education further as various learning delivery methods were adopted and later combined and adapted, and more adjustments were made to ensure that learning continues despite and amidst the ever-changing and ever-evolving circumstances. To the teachers, administrators, and staff who all made the academic year possible, congratulations and thank you. Congratulations for showing courage, determination, compassion, and resourcefulness and creativity in helping the students get through the most difficult time of their school lives so far. The pandemic has just dramatically shifted the ways of teaching and dealing with students, but you all have gone this far to ensure that they receive the education they deserve. You have empowered one another in the face of insurmountable struggles of adjusting to the so-called new normal education. With us here celebrating graduation, I could proudly say that you have navigated the challenges and opportunities of the pandemic era with honors. My congratulations and thanks also go to the parents and guardians of this year's graduates. The achievement of your sons and daughters would not have been in their hands had you given up on them. As uncertainties came their way, you were there to support them, probably in different ways, unusual, inconsistent, imperfect, which are sometimes misinterpreted, unreciprocated, and appreciated, but nonetheless pure, out of love, concern, protection, and with your best interest in mind. Thank you for being our partners in educating them. Parents, just like teachers, are true allies for children. But with the recent pandemic crisis, this must have been put to the test. I assume that most, if not all, of the parents were not formally trained to teach, but you have nevertheless shared the responsibility of helping your children, our learners, to survive and thrive amidst the uncertain circumstances. Indeed, As the African proverb goes, it takes a village to raise a child. And now, let me put the spotlight on our graduates. Allow me to congratulate all of you and celebrate with you on this special occasion. There's no denying that you're already a part of history. Imagine graduating despite and in the midst of a pandemic and serving as a concrete representation of hope and resilience. I want you to think back to 2020 when you first laid your eyes on your teachers and classmates in the form of tiny boxes on your computer or mobile screens, or when you slept to your gadgets during the wee hours, not because you were playing games or streaming your favorite shows or simply watching TikTok videos, but because you were reading a material uploaded by your teacher. Or consider this when you first received your modules and struggled to figure out some instructions because you were anxious for no reason and for so many reasons. You must have been shaken to your core. But now, look at yourselves. If that's not resilience, then tell me what it is. You are here not only because you've simply carried on, but more so because you've held on to your hopes and dreams. Now, you will embark on an entirely new journey. Whether you proceed to college or pursue a career, and you'll be facing uncertainties that will come in different forms and shapes and sizes. But take heart. Remember the year that was 2020 and then look back on your senior high school graduation day. Face the future with faith, hope, and confidence that incredible opportunities await you. Opportunities to better yourselves so that you can help your own selves, your families, and your communities. In these trying times and in the face of future crises and challenges, may you pursue your dreams with the thought of what you intend to do instead of just what you want to be. You may want to be engineers, doctors, health professionals, teachers, or artists, but is that really what you want to do? You need to provide innovative solutions to our country's perennial problems and challenges, to develop treatments to diseases yet to evolve or emerge, to touch lives and empower the youth to be contributive to the society, or to influence and impact humanity for the better. Your to-do list goes on. So think of what you truly want to do alongside with who you want to be, especially in the midst of chaos and in anticipation of future adversities. I am very certain that your school has armed you with the necessary tools that you will need to navigate a very uncertain world. So once again, my warmest congratulations to the graduates of school year 2021-2022. You have come this far. So despite uncertainties, pursue your dreams. It is a terrifying future, but nevertheless exciting. Congratulations and mabuhay!
Ladies and gentlemen, it is with pride and honor that we present and give recognition to the tenacious and purpose-driven graduates of Senior High School Class of 2022.
It is my pride and honor to present the graduates from Accountancy, Business, and Management 201. Kurt Timothy Benico, son of Miss Isabel S. Benico, with honors. Kaiser B. Burgo, son of Mr. and Mrs. Hilario T. Burgo. Ralph Silvier Bernardo, son of Mr. Juanito P. Bernardo, Loyalty Awardee and with honors. Lawrence D.G. Katahan, son of Mr. and Mrs. Leandro P. Katahan Jr. with high honors. John Royce S. Dadula, son of Mr. and Mrs. Attorney Joel B. Dadula with high honors and batch top 2. J.C. Lance Dania, son of Miss Marivic D. Lobermonte. Franz Louis C. Deloritos, son of Mr. and Mrs. Emerson Deloritos, with honors. Eric M. Denis Reyes, son of Mr. and Mrs. Denis Reyes, with honors. Kaiser J. Diaz, son of Mr. and Mrs. Aldrin T. Diaz, Loyalty Awardee. Justin Lee P. Dulva, son of Miss Marie Antoinette K. Petaliana, with honors. Edward F. Magno, son of Mr. and Mrs. Ana Nonya R. Magno, with honors. Raymart Abilito F. Magtibay, son of Mr. and Mrs. Potenciano Abilito P. Magtibay, with high honors. Rafael I. Mamuyak, son of Mr. and Mrs. Alex I. Mamuyak. Kenneth John B. Medina, son of Mr. and Mrs. Eduardo B. Medina Jr., with honors. Justin E. Ruiz, son of Mr. and Mrs. Emmy E. Ruiz. James Ashley O. Ward, son of Mr. and Mrs. Dennis S. Ward. Phoebe R. Aduhol, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Patricio B. Aduhol, with honors. Angela Leigh P. Agunday, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Omar A. Agunday, with honors. Julian R. Artoza, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Joel A. Artoza, with high honors. Janine C. Asubar, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Norman C. Asubar, with honors. Jasmine Karin S. Balinet, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Gary B. Balinet, with honors. Alona Mea C. Canimo, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Alan M. Canimo, with honors. Lorraine C. Dantes, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Loreto M. Dantes, Loyalty Awardee and with honors. Kristen May Deliava, daughter of Miss Gina Lynn Deliava. Maria Alisa B. Dumasian, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Manuel S. J. Dumasian. Janela Chamel D.C. Flores, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Joel L. Flores. Kyla May B. Garcia, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Marites Garcia, with honors. Hanatea V. Hill, daughter of Ms. Marites V. Hill, with high honors. Hannah Grace D. Ilaw, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Romelito C. Ilaw, with honors. Luis Maria Rufina C. Ilaw, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Jose B. Ilaw, with high honors and batch top 8. Eliza May T. Lamsen, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Armando M. Lamsen, with high honors. Michelle Hannah D. Liasos, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Palermo B. Liasos, with honors. Gwen Stephanie F. Martin, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. John Paul Martin, with high honors. Patricia Sofia T. Medina, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Jean T. Medina, with high honors. Jasmine Claire T. Orca, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Jose Ruel P. Orca. Regina Mariel C. Quilio, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Engineer Michael C. Quilio, loyalty awardee and with high honors. Rain Julian G. Reyes, daughter of Mr. and Ms. Hernani D. L. Reyes, loyalty awardee with high honors and batch top 6. Micaela Grace B. Roque, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Jacqueline B. Roque, with honors. Gabriel Angela D. Santos, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Mario C. Santos, with high honors. Beatrice Dorothy T. Sulit, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Anthony D. C. Campos. And Jairus John P. Villarino, daughter of Mrs. Marbet P. Villarino, loyalty awardee and with honors. The graduates of Humanities and Social Sciences, UMS 201, to be presented by their class advisor, Ms. Catlia Ann G. Latore.
It is my pride and honor to present the graduates from Humanities and Social Sciences, UMS 201. John Lawrence T. Amora, son of Mr. and Mrs. Amora, with high honors. Darrod S. Andrada, son of Mr. and Mrs. Andrada. Mark Vincent R. Cantos, son of Mr. and Mrs. Cantos. Christian David N. De Santo Tomas, son of Mr. and Mrs. De Santo Tomas, with honors. Rendel Luis A. Evardone, son of Mr. and Mrs. Evardone, with honors. Gabriel Franco S. Getizo, son of Mrs. Flordeliza S. Getizo, with honors. Christopher M. Gonito, son of Mr. and Mrs. Gonito, with honors. Gerald Heinrich D. Gonzaga, son of Miss Jane D. Gonzaga, Loyalty Awardee, with honors. Cyron Thaddeus H. Gonzalez, son of Mr. Cyrus G. Gonzalez and Mrs. Rona H. Gonzalez, with high honors. John Timothy A. Gregorio, son of Mr. and Mrs. Gregorio, with honors. Rain Riley T. Jimenez, son of Mrs. Heidi May T. Jimenez. John Matthew T. Molina, son of Mr. and Mrs. Molina, with honors. Kel Janeiro M. Reyes, son of Mrs. April Rose R. Perez, Loyalty Awardee, Jerry Rojas Leadership Awardee, with high honors. Kirk Daryl A. Ruga, son of Mr. and Mrs. Ruga, with honors. Jean Charles B. Samson, son of Mr. Edgardo Samson and Mrs. Jane Bentihava, with honors. Jomi Ashley A. Senson, son of Mrs. Emily A. Senson, with honors. Miguel Lorenzo W. Tenco, son of Mr. Michael V. Tenco and Mrs. Lorena W. Tenco, with honors. Leslie Ann B. Banyadera, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Banyadera. Sunshine A. Bondoy, daughter of Mr. Gonzalo M. Bondoy and Mrs. Cristina A. Bondoy, with honors. Shekinah Miralu T. Fabros, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Fabros, with honors. Anna May D. Flores, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Flores, with high honors. Isabel Gail M. Fuentes, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Fuentes, with honors. Cleofe Concepcion V. Ibanez, daughter of Mr. Ruel Jose M. Ibanez and Dr. Gwen V. Ibanez, with honors. Sabian M. Mendoza, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Mendoza, with honors. Sheila May B. Miano, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Miano. Rachel Ann V. Odiada, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Odiada. Charlene P. Ohoy, daughter of Mr. Sherwin P. Ohoy and Mrs. Lalaine P. Ohoy, with honors. Charm Eloise L. Olinares, daughter of Mr. Marvin B. Olinares and Mrs. Susan L. Olinares, with honors.
Yeshua Yasmin O. Picones, daughter of Mr. Redindo G. Picones and Mrs. Rosana O. Picones, with honors. Kyla Angela V. Sababan, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Sababan. Desiree Grace E. Tan, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Tan. Raylene Joy B. Tobias, daughter of Mr. Reynold B. Tobias and Mrs. Merlin B. Tobias, with high honors. Erinette Loy T. Velasco, daughter of Mr. Arthur Libang and Mrs. Jeanette T. Velasco, with honors. Andrea Nicole A. Benson, daughter of Mr. Haroy E. Benson and Mrs. Mary Grace A. Benson, with honors. And Clarice N. Villegas, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Villegas. The graduates of Science, Technology, Engineering, and Mathematics STEM 201 to be presented by their class advisor, Mrs. Dulce D.C. Abejero.
It is my pride and honor to present the graduates from Science, Technology, Engineering, and Mathematics STEM 201. Jomel Marco M. Apran, son of Mr. and Mrs. Jovencio G. Apran, awardee of Senator Manny Villar Excellence, awardee of Mercury Drug Foundation Incorporated MDFI Gawad Talino Excellence in Science, service awardee with high honors. Dane Anthony M. Decena, son of Mr. and Mrs. Danielle B. Decena, with honors. Aaron Paul M. Deloria II, son of Mr. and Mrs. Aaron Deloria, with honors. Andre G. Gigliarte, son of Mr. and Mrs. Arturo B. Gigliarte, with high honors. Blue L. Habla, son of Mr. and Mrs. Ernesto A. Habla, with honors. Rafael Angelo A. Hernandez, son of Mr. and Mrs. Noel M. Hernandez, Loyalty Awardee with high honors. Melandro Mozart C. Medrano, son of Mr. and Mrs. Melan C. Medrano, Loyalty Awardee with high honors. Prince Kyle T. Nage, son of Mr. and Mrs. Benjamin N. Nage, with honors. Joff Andrew C. Ramos, son of Mr. and Mrs. Joffrey Pomar L. Ramos, with high honors. Mark John Harvey C. Reyes, son of Mr. and Mrs. Rafael V. Reyes, with honors. Christian Aaron P. Roscoe, son of Mr. and Mrs. Ranulfo D. V. Roscoe Jr., with high honors. J. Ross G. Sanchez, son of Mr. and Mrs. Jaime A. Sanchez Jr., with honors. Dale Alva D. Seno, son of Mr. and Mrs. Jeffrey M. Seno, with honors. Simon Anthony A. Victorio, son of Mrs. Maribel A. Victorio, with honors. John Dale C. Bocalan, son of Mr. and Mrs. G. Paul A. Bocalan, Loyalty Awardee, with honors. Rosalinda E. Abelido, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Abraham C. Abelido, with honors. Hannibal P. Aguilar, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Armando C. Aguilar, with honors. Joyce Grace P. Alvia, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Normando F. Alvia, with high honors. Monique Rosel J. Assis, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Elvis E. Assis, service awardee with high honors. Stephanie Zoe C. Barba, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Alex R. Barba, with honors. Jennifer Lorraine P. Barquilla, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Joseph B. Barquilla, with high honors. Chini Faith E. Borromeo, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Ronald S. Borromeo, with high honors. Gwyneth B. Cabangan, daughter of Mr. Manuelito P. Cabangan, with honors. Rosemary L. Cacao, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Rodolfo G. Cacao, service awardee with high honors. Shira May De Los Santos, daughter of Miss Eileen C. De Los Santos, loyalty awardee with high honors. Arian May V. Jestro, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Jose Glenn V. Jestro, loyalty awardee with high honors. Pauline Joy N. Encila, daughter of Mrs. Elsa N. Encila, with honors. Maria Luisa O. Ereve, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Ramil C. Ereve, with honors. Laika Nicole R. Galapon, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Renato M. Galapon, with honors. Lizzie May H. Guerrero, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Carmelo Angelo H. Guerrero, with honors. Mariana Jose C. Hernandez, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Joseph S. Hernandez, with high honors. Chrissy Rose C. Lalik, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Christopher T. Lalik, with honors. Janina O. Liamas, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Michael S. Liamas, with honors. Kathleen Ira A. Morco, daughter of Mrs. Evangelina A. Morco, Loyalty Awardee, with honors. Trisha May Jean R. Muega, daughter of Miss Maria Teresa T. Ragrario, with honors. Lillian Pearl G. Omega, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Leonardo E. Omega Jr., with honors. Camille B. Oraya, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Roque T. Oraya, with honors. Jean Andrea S. Palacio, daughter of Mrs. Marie Joyce S. Palacio, with high honors. Kayla Andre C. Rabacal, daughter of Mr. Jaime D. Rabacal Jr., with honors. Maria Johanna Lindsay L. Solomon, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Lloyd E. Solomon, with honors. Crystal D.G. Supleyo, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Jimmy R. Supleyo, with honors. Shaima B. Tagibulos, daughter of Mr. Ferdinand B. Tagibulos, with high honors. Elris May D.C. Tayag, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Maurice B. Tayag, with honors. Micaela Amiel C. Tolentino, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Michael A. Tolentino, with honors. Jade Marian D. L. Tuazon, daughter of Mr. Norman A. Tuazon and Mrs. Joanna Marie D. Tuazon, with honors. Julian Ray F. Villamar, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Raymar R. Villamar, with honors. And Lee Vea Tisha P. Virtus, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Vincent G. Virtus, with honors. The graduates of Science, Technology, Engineering, and Mathematics STEM 202 to be presented by their class advisor, Ms. Alicia C. Miranda.
It is my pride and honor to present the graduates from Science, Technology, Engineering, and Mathematics STEM 202. Rashid Anthony B. Abrenica, son of Mr. and Mrs. Jasper T. Abrenica, Gawad Talino Awardee, Proficiency in Mathematics, with high honors. Carl Louis R. Agabao, son of Mr. and Mrs. Teodolfo T. Agabao, with honors. Meryl Jed B. Alcantara, son of Mr. and Mrs. Alfredo T. Alcantara, Loyalty Awardee, with honors. Bral Mark L. Bagorio, son of Mr. and Mrs. Benjamin L. Bagorio Jr., with honors. Carl Christopher D. Blackstock, son of Mr. and Mrs. Noriel D. Blackstock, with honors. Justin A. Sinina, son of Mr. and Mrs. Amador B. Sinina, with honors. Clarence C. Cortina, son of Mr. and Mrs. Antonio E. Cortina, with honors. Darren Dave S. Cruz, son of Mr. and Mrs. Irvin G. Cruz, with honors. Lawrence D. Digia, son of Mr. and Mrs. Arnel A. Digia, with honors. Patrick Claude B. Diaz, son of Mr. and Mrs. Virgilio E. Diaz Jr., Loyalty Awardee, with honors. Darrell Christian B. Doctora, son of Mr. and Mrs. Wilson L. Doctora, with high honors. J. Romel B. Eder, son of Mr. and Mrs. Rohel L. Eder, with honors. Jo Marie A. Stupigan, son of Mr. and Mrs. Manuel A. Stupigan, with honors. Constant Joshua L. Gatulayaw, son of Mr. and Mrs. Mark G. Gatulayaw, with honors. Ronel James C. Jayocadin, son of Mr. and Mrs. Donda D. Jayocadin, with high honors. Carl Angel E. Herman, son of Mr. and Mrs. Ronnie C. Herman, with honors. Jed Christian Y. Hularbal, son of Mr. and Mrs. Rafael S. Hularbal, with high honors. Kim R. Mengita, son of Mr. and Mrs. Yolando C. Mengita, with honors. Lawrence C. Payawal, son of Mr. and Mrs. Estelito H. Payawal Jr., with honors. Deolex Andre F. Peñafiel, son of Mr. and Mrs. Edwin P. Peñafiel, with honors. Art Corbin L. Picones, son of Mr. and Mrs. Arthur V. Picones II, Loyalty Awardee, with honors. Julius Andre D. Ridaon, son of Mr. and Mrs. Samir R. Ridaon, with honors. Sean Jabez L. Rehuso, son of Engineer and Mrs. Nolly O. Rehuso, with honors. Joshua Martin P. Reyes, son of Mr. and Mrs. Justiniano R. Reyes, with honors. Juan Demetrius D. Samonte, son of Mr. and Mrs. Dennis R. Samonte, with honors. John Albert C. Jamson, son of Mr. and Mrs. Alberto V. Jamson Jr., Loyalty Awardee. Aaron Paul C. Tuason, son of Mr. and Mrs. Rico M. Tuason, with honors. John Ezekiel D. Villaluz, son of Mr. and Mrs. Jeffrey B. Villaluz, with honors. Francine Yesha C. Agapay, daughter of Miss Ava Joy I. Coliantes, with honors. Angel Lee Ann B. Amaba, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Leonardo M. Amaba Jr., with honors. Kyla May C. Caram, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Carlito D. C. Caram, with honors. Princess Iris L. Cruz, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Denny G. Cruz, with honors. Mariel Faith B. Dimaya, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Marshall O. Dimaya, with honors. Abigail G. Florendo, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Albert B. Florendo, with honors. Ana Katrina F. Ingito, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Antonio D. Ingito, with honors. Jeff Love P. Harabello, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Jeffrey D. S. Harabello, with honors. Krisha Fritz B. Lubarbio, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Roy P. Lubarbio, with honors. Kate Noreen B. Maghanoy, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Kenneth P. Maghanoy, with honors. Maria Isabella G. Mangiat, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Leonardo M. Mangiat, with honors. Marie Francesca Patrice Navarro, daughter of Miss Chari E. Navarro, with high honors. Christine Hermione E. Osenya, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Hipolito Romel C. Osenya, with honors. Dagny Daphne M. Pactoranan, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Marvin S. Pactoranan, with honors. Rina Adriana P. Paharon, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Hernan E. Paharon, with honors. Kate Russell G. Quintas, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Vicente B. Quintas Jr., with high honors. Leslie Joy G. Raspado, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Lester B. Cinco, with honors. Avril Angela A. Salen, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Christopher C. Salen, with honors. Kiana Lorene J. Sunico, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Russell G. Sunico, with honors. Rian Jasmine S. Terrazola, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Domingo T. Terrazola Jr., with honors. And Sarah Jane T. Vivar, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Sunny N. Vivar, with honors. The graduates of Science, Technology, Engineering, and Mathematics STEM 203 to be presented by their class advisor, Mr. Norman B. Antonil.
It is my pride and honor to present the graduates from Science, Technology, Engineering, and Mathematics STEM 203. Franco C. Apelodin, son of Mr. and Mrs. Ismael D. C. Apelodin Jr., with honors. Kurt Philip A. Baharo, son of Mr. and Mrs. Jorinel N. Baharo, with honors. Lorden Lorenzo E. Ballesteros, son of Mr. and Mrs. Dennis P. Ballesteros, with honors. Nino Brian E. Banyes, son of Mr. and Mrs. Elmer B. Banyes, with honors. Joshua N. Benamira, son of Mr. and Mrs. Henry Y. Benamira, with honors. Jacob D. Bongalonta, son of Mr. and Mrs. Relit Manuel P. Bongalonta, with honors. Ivan Carl F. Cabadu, son of Mr. and Mrs. Orlando C. Cabadu, with honors. Simon Anthony S. Chris, son of Mr. Cristino B. Chris, with honors. Riley Vince G. Dao, son of Mr. and Mrs. Cristobal P. Dao. Carl Jester D. Espiritu, son of Mr. and Mrs. Banjo H. Espiritu, with honors. John Isaac H. Gapud, son of Mrs. Mary Jane H. Gapud, with honors. John Andre Lennon A. Labayani, son of Mr. and Mrs. Josepino P. Labayani, with honors. Ted Russell M. Lagran, son of Mr. and Mrs. Theody H. Lagran. Sean Austin A. Ohoy, son of Mr. and Mrs. Wilfredo L. Ohoy, with honors. Raymond Greg T. Reyes, son of Mr. and Mrs. Ramon G. Reyes, with honors. Miguel Angelo B. Simon, son of Mr. and Mrs. Jonas P. Simon, with honors. Rafael Angelo R. Balevia, son of Mr. and Mrs. Joffrey A. Balevia, with honors. Kirby F. Valencia, son of Mr. and Mrs. Bernardino C. Valencia. Patrick T. Valenzuela, son of Mr. and Mrs. Roderick F. Valenzuela, with honors. Francis Jacob A. Villarta, son of Miss Maria Riza A. Villarta, with honors. Francesca Micaela A. Abian, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Edward C. Abian, with honors. Joseine T. Burgos, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Alejandro T. Burgos, with honors. Katrina May M. Daludado, daughter of Engineer and Mrs. Felipe Al M. Daludado Jr., with honors. Diana Lynn C. De Guzman, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Dan L. De Guzman, with honors. Christian K. A. Del Valle, daughter of Mrs. Crescent A. Del Valle, with honors. Jasmine Micaela Eunice R. Edera, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Ivan L. Edera, with honors. Sheena May F. Hulaton, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Arnel E. Hulaton, with honors. Kristen Joy S. Lucido, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Romeo R. Lucido, with honors. Jana Luis A. Matias, daughter of Miss Maria Veronica C. Antaso, with honors. Veronica T. Palabrica, daughter of Miss Sharini U. Tapdasan, with honors. Gabriel O. Pascual, daughter of Mrs. Gladys O. Pascual, with honors. Gail Chanel F. Rentoria, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Gilbert B. Rentoria, with honors. Cheska Faith D.C. Santiago, daughter of Mrs. Mary Jane D.C. Santiago, with honors. Jachelle G. Season, daughter of Miss Sheila E. Gonzalez, with honors. Leanne Nicole E. Season, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Levy B. Season, with honors. Shireen M. Songalia, daughter of Miss Annalyn M. Songalia, with honors. Alexia Sophia T. Ulang, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Ferdinand S. Ulang, with honors. Bianca Maris F. Villanueva, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Aldrin Jose Y. Villanueva, with honors. And Kyla Marie D. Ebasco, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Delpine J. Ebasco Jr., with honors. Graduates from the Technical, Vocational, and Livelihood track, the graduates of Information and Communications Technology, ICT 201, to be presented by the class advisor, Ms. Hannah Jane C. Bugay.
It is my pride and honor to present the graduates from Technical, Vocational, and Livelihood track, Information and Communications Technology, ICT 201. John Allen N. Alonzo, son of Mrs. Josie N. Alonzo, with honors. Neil Justin S. Alviento, son of Mr. and Mrs. Joelbert R. Alviento. Eman Romeo C. Angeles, son of Mr. and Mrs. Roland G. Angeles. Johan Dale C. Arcos, son of Mr. and Mrs. Gilbert T. Arcos, with honors. Sean Ray V. Beltran, son of Mr. and Mrs. Reynaldo S. Beltran Jr., with high honors. Nathan Stewart A. Benito, son of Mr. and Mrs. Bernard R. Benito. John Clark F. Bernardino, son of Miss Nerissa F. Bernardino, with honors. Aldrin John T. Boscano, son of Mr. and Mrs. Marian T. Boscano. Franz Errol S. Castillo, son of Mr. Raymond C. Castillo and Miss Maria Celeste M. Sapungan. Tristan Kelly P. Cura, son of Miss Jovita P. Cura, with honors. Christian Dane G. Gopez, son of Miss Christina Gopez, with honors. Jose Maria C. Hernandez, son of Mr. and Mrs. Joseph S. Hernandez. Lawrence Ian R. Javier, son of Mr. and Mrs. Leslie A. Javier. Ishan A. Libas, son of Mr. and Mrs. Edwin F. Libas, with honors. Sean Jason O. Loyola, son of Mr. and Mrs. Sonny L. Loyola, with honors. Kurt Matthew Makabangon, son of Mr. and Mrs. Patrick June F. Lucas. John Joseph Simon L. Molina, son of Mr. and Mrs. Jonathan P. Molina. Christian James A. Padua, son of Mr. and Mrs. Archie A. Padua. John Jimuel P. Rodillas, son of Mr. and Mrs. Emmanuel V. Rodillas. Lawrence P. Samonte, son of Mr. and Mrs. Elsa P. Samonte. John Warren B. Sembrano, son of Mr. and Mrs. John Allen B. Sembrano, with honors. Jeremy M. Tolentino, son of Mr. and Mrs. Joel Joy P. Tolentino, Loyalty Awardee, with honors. Kurt Lawrence A. Tomaca, son of Mr. and Mrs. Antonio S. Tomaca, with honors. Noel Daniel M. Villamayor, son of Mr. and Mrs. Noel Jr. S. Villamayor. Daniel Antinero, daughter of Miss Marites S. Antinero, with honors. Natalie Vera E. Banayos, daughter of Miss Ella V. Estrella, with honors. Krista Alexandra A. Johnson, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Esteban P. Johnson, with honors. Maria Sofia S. Ignacio, daughter of Mr. Rene Jose I. Ignacio and Miss Annalyn O. Soriano. And Kiana Denise G. Legaspi, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. John A. Hugh Legaspi, with high honors. The graduates from the Technical, Vocational, and Livelihood track, starting with Home Economics, Commercial Cooking, and Bread and Pastry Production, HE 201, to be presented by the class advisor, Ms. K. N. Goto.
It is my pride and honor to present the graduates from Technical, Vocational, and Livelihood track, starting with the Home Economics, Commercial Cooking, and Bread and Pastry Production, HE 201. Aaron Rich C. Altura, son of Mr. and Mrs. Richard S. Altura. Jeril S. Sabare, son of Mr. Reynaldo Armesa and Mrs. Maria Rodora Sabare, with honors. Peter John M. Portugal, son of Mr. John D. Zape and Mrs. Rosemary M. Portugal. Mark Kevin D. Torres, son of Mr. and Mrs. Jonathan Torres. Elaine Grace G. Abuyog, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Neil Abuyog. Grania Jic A. Carado, daughter of Miss Erlinda Queen A. Carado, with high honors. Diane Domini U. Corpus, daughter of Miss Myra Corpus. Arabella N. Diaz, daughter of Mrs. Cheryl N. Diaz. Elise Kelly R. De La Torre, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Marlon De La Torre Jr. Joanna Marie U. Merino, daughter of Mr. Jose Evilio R. Merino. Micaela Josefina C. Paran, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Jose A. Paran III. Hannah Jean P. Pizarra, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Joseph C. Pizarra, with honors. And Carmela Elijah S. J. Tuazon, daughter of Mr. Manuel R. Tuazon III, with honors. The graduates from the Home Economics Tourism Promotion Services, TOPS 201. John Roland Bercia C. Munda, son of Mr. and Mrs. Rolando C. Munda. Baron Vincent R. Pigtain, son of Mr. and Mrs. Mark Anthony M. Pigtain. Janine Bless V. Angeles, daughter of Mrs. Mylene V. Angeles, with honors. Alison Porsche M. Belen, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Jaime Belen. Jeremy C. Garcia, daughter of Mrs. Veronica C. Garcia, with high honors. Justine M. Laksamana, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Joel B. Laksamana, with honors. Ishi Rebecca G. Pura, daughter of Mrs. Irene G. Pura. Justine Marian A. Rivera, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Engineer Jose Marion V. Rivera, with high honors. And Princess Nicole D.C. Santos, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Ferdinand D.C. Santos. And Nika Ella P. Sibulo, daughter of Mrs. Noraline P. Sibulo, with honors. The graduates from the Arts and Design track, Performing Arts and Arts Production, Arts 201. Caleb E. Albania, son of Mr. Al C. Albania and Mrs. Jonaline I. Escano, with honors. Carl Vincent F. Besonaya, son of Mr. Roland Besonaya. Brian Angelo M. Canzana, son of Mr. Ranilio G. Canzana and Mrs. Marites G. Mendonilla, with honors. Jomil Gabriel P. Gonzalez, son of Mrs. Mildred G. Tamonan, with honors. Manuel Jericho Margarito, son of Mr. Armando A. Cabrera. Muswen Neo R. Merced, son of Mr. and Mrs. Georgette H. Merced. Jamero D. Peñaranda, son of Mr. and Mrs. Jason B. Peñaranda. Sarcy S. Semacho, son of Mr. and Mrs. Cesar Semacho, with honors. Faye Angeline Aranas, daughter of Miss Felicitas S. Aranas, with high honors. Sarah Catherine M. Capili, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Rodelio B. Capili, with honors. Camila G. Mosqueda, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Paul G. Mosqueda, Loyalty Awardee, with honors. Maria Jenny R. Tolentino, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Abel Tolentino. And Althea Angeline D. Bucalan, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Arvin T. Bucalan, Loyalty Awardee, Service Awardee, APHS Chamber Music Ensemble, with high honors.
Congratulations, graduates! And now, the commencement address to be delivered by Jomel Marco M. Apran of STEM 201 with high honors.
Six challenging years have passed and we're finally graduating from high school. Our batch is remarkable not just for surviving 2 years of online classes, but also for setting unusual records in our school's history. Our batch is the first, and hopefully the last, to miss the moving up ceremony. We're also the first class to graduate without having experienced the senior high school classroom ambience while wearing our complete school uniform daily instead of the shorts or pajamas we used to pair with our white long sleeves, vests, and tie during virtual classes. We're also the only batch that has never had the opportunity to be involved in major SHS department programs like academia, eco-dressmaking, and other activities that can only be done in person. And perhaps, we'll be the last batch of graduates in our institution to utilize video conference platforms for commencement exercises like this. To our beloved and visionary school director, Dr. Rinaldo Faustino, the goal-driven and hardworking members of the JSMSS Board of Trustees, to our indefatigable principal, Mrs. Gina De Leon, to the dynamic faculty and staff of APHS, to our proud parents, friends, fellow graduates, honor students, and our online viewers, ladies and gentlemen, a pleasant day to all of you. Definitely, this school year is unlike anything we've ever experienced before. None of us could have imagined how our world and our lives will be thrown into turmoil by this coronavirus outbreak. Our typical routines, school activities, traditions, interactions, getaways, and plans have been disrupted and altered. At that time, I thought the virus would only last for weeks or months. However, 2 years have passed in a blink of an eye, and we are still in this dreadful situation. Honestly, I didn't expect our last day of high school to be spent in a Zoom meeting celebrating our accomplishments and triumphs as individuals and as a troop of blue-blooded titans who prevailed against the forces of adversity. After all, regardless of the channel through which this occasion is carried out, it is still a special event wherein we gain memorable experiences, reflect on the past, and look forward to our future. Although it's sad to think about all the laughs we've had in the past, our last seatmate side conversations, our last patagong sile with our crush, our last asaran with our peers, our last allowance from our parents, and our last visit to the canteen to buy its famous French fries, turon, nachos, cheese sticks, and best-selling high-fiber juice. What's more heartbreaking are the last which we took for granted, since we expected more after-class bonding with our friends and fun discussion with our teachers in a real-life classroom setting. Despite the setbacks and losses, we didn't let them prevent us from relishing our first online class, our first experience with genuine Schoology, our first video calls for groupings, and our first online role plays. They may all appear challenging at first, but we have come this far because we adapted, pushed, strived, and proved that we are better in various ways. Let's be proud of ourselves for juggling our house duties and stress-relieving hobbies with other tasks like applying to several scholarships and universities, cramming for school requirements, and filming ourselves for our PE dance project. Despite the unpredictable and unusual year we all had, we have gained valuable lessons that will surely be useful as we move forward in the future. In my 15 years of being a pupil, I learned 3 things that I like to share with all of you. The first thing I learned was to embrace the notion of failing. Failing is an inevitable part of life, and it should never be used to determine an individual's success, self-worth, or destiny. It happens every day, from failing to wake up early for a morning class, to failing our examinations and quizzes because we believe in the bahala na si Batman mindset. We must remember that failing and failure are 2 different things. Failing is a process, while failure is an outcome. Failing means you tried, you have the guts to take the initial step, but it didn't work for some reason. Yet it can lead us to an avenue where we can learn by knowing what things we should work on and what to avoid the next time. On the other hand, failure signifies that you sat, surrendered, or threw in the towel. The famous and humorous YouTube sensation and APHS alumnus, Mr. Albert Nicolas, aka Asian Cutie, once said, "Never give up, unless it's hard, at kung hindi mo na talaga kaya, pagawa mo na sa iba." Kidding aside, we learn a lot when we persevere and refuse to give up. We can motivate and empower ourselves as well as discover hidden strengths and potentials. More importantly, we vow not to quit and know how we can effectively transform our failures into successes. However, we should take note that failing without learning is nothing. People often make mistakes. Sabi nga ni Mr. Albert Nicolas, kung di ka nagkakamali, tama ka na. Committing mistakes frequently does not entail that we fail often. Instead, it serves as a gentle reminder that we are all human. What matters most is that we acknowledge the importance of taking accountability for our mistakes and making an effort to learn from them. My second point is to pursue your aspirations fearlessly and live meaningfully, especially in this time when our world is very deep in uncertainties. We're all aware that the total number of COVID-19 cases is increasing day by day, and any day could be anyone's last. Knowing that there will be an end makes everything more valuable and worthwhile. Everything we treasure, anything we own, and everyone we know could vanish at any time, prompting us to rethink what matters in life. In line with this, I encourage all of you to chase your own definition of happiness and success with fervor, determination, and clear judgment. It's your dream. Don't let anyone else dream for you. Don't ever be frightened, for I believe we belong to the club of diligent dreamers, because dreaming is not for the lazy, as it demands hard work and sacrifice along the way. I also urge all of you to purposefully live, since living with a purpose makes us happier and more content, more resilient in the face of hardship, and more likely to become an inspiration to others. The third and last thing I learned, which is also the most important, So take care of yourself. Health is our principal capital asset. If you are not in a good condition, you'll be unable to study comfortably, concentrate in class, and acquire a newfound knowledge. Furthermore, you will lack the necessary stamina to complete a specific activity. And you will be unable to enjoy all of your well-being and success in life. In short, if you compromise your health and well-being to achieve your goals, and efforts to ensure that we obtain a high-quality education transcend even the constraints of distance and technology. To our ever-supportive parents and guardians, especially to my mama and papa, who provide all of my needs, thank you for being my inspiration and anchor of hope, which drives me to be better and finish my studies. Thank you for being with me while I traverse the darkest of tunnels and for staying until I reach their end while appreciating the beauty of life. To my classmates, thank you for making me feel that I am not alone in this journey. I'm glad for the camaraderie we've developed despite the boundaries of online learning. To my fellow graduates, I'm delighted that the seeds of our tenacity and persistence have finally yielded fruit. I commend all of you for making good use of your abilities and having the courage to step outside your comfort zone. Above all, let us praise and glorify our God for this fruitful academic year, as well as the wisdom, blessing, grace, and life He bestowed upon us. Before I end my speech, please allow me to borrow a quote from Charles Dickens. The pain of parting is nothing to the joy of meeting again. The home of a blue-blooded Titans will be the cradle of tomorrow's doctors, engineers, lawyers, artists, chefs, accountants, and others in the near future. When all is said and done, to Thee we shall return, for there is only one, Angono Private High School. Once again, congratulations at mabuhay tayong lahat.
Loyalty is that immeasurable sense of devotion and allegiance to a person, a cause, a nation, or an institution. That to express it is tantamount to manifesting love and respect. The pledge of loyalty to the alma mater to be led by John Royce S. Dadula of ABM 201 with high honors.
Let us raise our right hand and recite the Pledge of Loyalty. In gratitude to my alma mater, I do hereby solemnly pledge my undivided loyalty to her and her ideals, promising always to uphold her standards and traditions, to endeavor to do my duties to my country and my people as an efficient citizen, wherever I may be, to the best of my ability, ever remembering that in so doing, I shall live up to her highest and fullest expectations, which shall have made myself a worthy child of her, my alma mater, the Angono Private High School. So help me God.
Ladies and gentlemen, the awarding of loyalty and service plaques to distinguished employees.
It is our honor and privilege to present the plaque of appreciation to our distinguished employees who have selflessly served the institution and our students for years and counting. The citation reads, "The plaque of appreciation is presented to our faculty and employee awardees in grateful recognition and appreciation of their faithful service to the institution. Their loyalty and devotion to duty is truly commendable. Given the 17th day of June in the year of our Lord 2022 at Angono, Rizal. Signed, Mrs. Gina G. De Leon, Principal. Dr. Reynaldo D. Faustino, Director, and Mrs. Lilian I. Carion, President. Aristotle C. Rustia, Classroom Teacher, 10 years in service. Dr. Mary Ann V. Diestro, Dentist, 15 years in service. Marlon C. Villacampa, Service Staff, 15 years in service. Elcinda L. Fabro, Building Coordinator, 30 years in service. Maria Divina A. Navarro, Librarian, 35 years in service. Carmela D. Vocalan, Subject Area Coordinator, 35 years in service. Dr. Abel M. Villamayor, School Doctor, 20 years in service.
The journey towards the moment you have worked so hard to achieve did not come without hardships, but you have overcome and thrived. It's been a journey, and these are the moments you wouldn't trade for anything else.
We might not be walking across that stage with the cameras flashing. They've been waiting on our day. It's been a journey, hasn't it? I wouldn't trade a moment. No, I wouldn't change a moment. I'm who I am because of you. Whether we've known each other our whole life or just a year or two. And I'm grateful for the time we put in, getting us to this moment, so we could get to this moment. We may not be throwing our caps in the air, but our spirit will rise anywhere. Remember our hallways filled with memories and friends. I wouldn't trade a moment. No, I wouldn't change a moment. I'm who I am because of you. Whether we've known each other our whole life or just a year or two. And I'm grateful for the good and hard times we've had. They'll get us through life's moments. Yeah, they'll get us through life's moments. If you're over there feeling a little scared about your brand new start, don't get discouraged. Keep showing your courage, 'cause that's who we are. I'm who I am because of you. Whether we've known each other our whole life or just a year or two. And I'm grateful for the times we'll never forget, so we can be in this moment, right here in this moment. I'm grateful
Memories are always accompanied by gratitude because it is being grateful that we get to value the moments and the people who believed in us and who walked us through every step of the way. Parents, teachers, friends, to everyone who has shown their support and love to each and every graduate presented here today, please accept our warm thank you. Maraming salamat po.
Di mo maintindihan kung ba't ikaw ang napapagtripan ng halik ng kamalasan.
Kinapang mong marahan ang hagdanan para lamang makilatan. Sa kaitaas-taasan ngunit kaibigan, huwag kang magpapasindak. Kaibigan, easy lang saya. Dahil wala ring mangyayari, dahil walang mapapala, huwag mo pigilan ang pagbuhos ng ulan. May panahon para maging hari, may panahon para madapa, dahil ang buhay natin ay sadyang ganyan. Umaaraw, umuulan. Umaaraw, umuulan. Ang buhay ay sadyang ganyan. Umaaraw, umuulan.
Leaves will soon grow from the barrenness of trees, and all will be alright in time. For waves overgrow the calmest of seas, and all will be alright in time.
Kaibigan, huwag kang magpapatalo.
Kaibigan, itaas ang noo.
Dahil wala ring mangyayari, dahil walang mapapala, huwag mong pigilan ang pagbuhos ng ulan. May panahon para maging hari, may panahon para madapa, dahil ang buhay natin ay sadyang ganyan. Umaaraw, umuulan.
Soon grow from the barrenness
Umaaraw, umuulan.
will be alright in time.
Buhay ay sadyang ganyan.
Overgrow
Umaaraw,
the seas, and all will be
As members of the One Sumulong Memorial School System family, let us all sing our school hymn. Dear graduates, behind you are memories. Before you are dreams. Around you are those who love you. Within you is all that you need, your heart. Congratulations, graduates of Class 2022.